Did you know that private credit investments could be costing you millions in taxes? What if these tax-advantaged strategies are reserved only for the elite? Stay tuned as we uncover how the wealthy navigate this secretive financial landscape. And hey, if you find this information valuable, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The trajectory of private credit in recent years reveals a complex interplay between elite financial maneuvers and the systemic inequities inherent in the investment landscape. The market has ballooned from $1 trillion in 2020 to a staggering $1.5 trillion at the outset of 2024. Experts project this new wave of wealth creation could reach an astonishing $2.6 trillion by 2029, as noted by alternative data provider Prechain. But hold on, because this growth hides a stark reality. Returns from direct lending and private credit are taxed as ordinary income at a whopping top federal tax rate of 40.8%, compared to the long-term capital gains rate of just 23.8%. If you were to consider a $5 million commitment in private credit, you could potentially lose an astronomical $4.3 million over a decade due to tax drag, and an eye-watering $61 million over 3 decades, as calculated by Bernstein Private Wealth Management. Meanwhile, while elite investors find ways around these burdens, ordinary investors are stuck in a cycle that seems designed to stifle their earning potential. High-net-worth individuals are increasingly seeking refuge in insurance products to mitigate tax liabilities, employing tactics that effectively circumvent the financial pressures impacting them while elevating their returns. For instance, those with substantial resources are now purchasing private placement life insurance policies, unregistered financial products that require accreditation for access. These allow them to position funds while sidestepping complex taxes, as funds lawyer Yashio Lahiri explains. Ironically, as these options widen for the wealthy, everyday investors find themselves with few viable paths to similar financial advantages. This highlights a troubling double standard that privileges the elite. So, who really benefits from these investment tools? While insurance-dedicated funds proliferate quickly, the nuances of their structure may lead to weaker returns in the long run. Robert Dietz, National Director of Tax at Bernstein, emphasizes that although these vehicles can enhance liquidity, they require intense management, a dichotomy that complicates how we view investment profitability. This scenario recalls historical tax shelters that served only a privileged few, leaving the majority to shoulder significant fiscal burdens. As we consider these recent developments, one can't help but question whether Congress's observations regarding the PPLI industry, a $40 billion tax shelter for affluent Americans, reflect a genuine concern for equity, or merely superficial optics aimed at addressing wealth inequality. Senator Ron Wyden's proposal to limit the advantages of PPLI could serve as a flashpoint for debate, yet the likelihood of such initiatives gaining traction in a Republican-dominated Congress raises doubts about the commitment to real reform. As conversations around tax-efficient investment strategies gain traction, particularly among family offices and ultra-high-net-worth investors eager to maximize their after-tax returns, we must ask ourselves, will we continue to allow these disparities to flourish? Will future generations inherit a landscape rife with financial privilege that serves only a select few? A progressive shift in policy prioritizing equity and transparency seems not only necessary but imperative to reshape this investment culture to benefit a broader spectrum of society. The call for transformation is urgent, urging systemic reforms that go beyond mere financial maneuvering. In conclusion, the surge in private credit and the exploitation of tax-advantaged mechanisms by the wealthy is a glaring example of systemic injustice. While high-net-worth individuals navigate complex financial instruments to evade equitable taxation, millions of marginalized families struggle under stagnant wages and inadequate social services. This disparity sheds light on the power dynamics that favor the elite, perpetuating a cycle of wealth concentration at the expense of broader societal well-being. As we contemplate the future, let's ask ourselves, how long can we allow a few to circumvent responsibility while the many bear the burden of an inequitable system? Remember to like, share, and comment on this video, and let's keep the conversation going.